When we experience the sting of rejection or neglect, it's natural to feel a pull toward external validation, a desperate urge to fix what seems broken by pouring our energy into the other person. We text repeatedly, overthink every interaction, and chase after someone who may already have distanced themselves emotionally. But here's the truth: this outward focus is a distraction, a way of avoiding the deeper, more significant work that needs to happen internally. Every moment spent begging for attention, chasing after someone's approval, or analyzing their silence is a moment stolen from the most important relationship you will ever have, the one with yourself. The energy you invest outward, desperately trying to cling to a person or a situation, is energy that could be redirected to something transformative. Imagine if, instead of spending sleepless nights wondering why someone hasn't responded to your messages, you use that time to reflect on what truly makes you happy. Instead of crafting the perfect words to say to someone who's clearly pulled away, you could craft a vision for your future, one that doesn't depend on anyone else's presence or approval. This shift is not just about taking your focus off another person, it's about reclaiming the power that has always been yours. When you turn inward, you begin to understand that your worth does not depend on how others perceive you or how much they prioritize you. Your worth is inherent, unshakable, and non-negotiable. But recognizing this requires effort, discipline, and the courage to sit with your discomfort instead of escaping it by seeking validation externally. It's easier to send another text or replay a conversation in your mind than it is to confront your own feelings of inadequacy, fear, or loneliness. Yet, it's in this confrontation where true growth begins. Shifting your energy inward means acknowledging the emotions that arise without judgment. If you feel rejected, let yourself feel it. Don't mask it with distractions or self-blame. Sit with the discomfort and ask yourself, what is this teaching me? What part of me feels threatened and why? Often the answers to these questions reveal the areas where you need the most healing. Maybe it's a fear of abandonment stemming from past experiences, or perhaps it's a need for approval that has been conditioned into you over time. Whatever the root cause, the act of exploring it begins to loosen its grip on you. As you pull your energy back to yourself, you'll notice something remarkable happening: clarity. When you're no longer consumed by the need to chase or beg, you can see the situation and yourself more clearly. You might realize that the person you were chasing wasn't as aligned with your values as you thought. Or you might discover that their absence has made space for you to reconnect with passions and goals that you'd neglected while focusing on them. This clarity isn't just liberating, it's empowering. It reminds you that you are whole and complete on your own, regardless of who stays or leaves. This inward shift also allows you to rebuild the trust you may have lost in yourself. When you chase after someone who pulls away, you're essentially telling yourself, I'm not enough as I am. But when you stop chasing, when you stop begging for scraps of attention, you're telling yourself, I trust that I am enough, and I don't need to prove it to anyone. This trust is the foundation of self-worth, and it's something no one else can give you. It has to come from within. Redirecting your energy inward isn't just about emotional healing, it's also a practical, actionable process. It means setting aside time each day to nurture yourself, whether that's through journaling, meditating, exercising, or pursuing a passion that lights you up. It means surrounding yourself with people who uplift and inspire you rather than drain you. It means holding yourself to a higher standard, not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because you deserve to live a life that reflects your full potential. The energy you used to spend on overthinking and overextending can now be channeled into building the life you truly desire. Imagine the momentum you could create if every moment spent doubting yourself was instead invested in learning a new skill, starting a project you've always dreamed of, or simply taking care of your mental and physical well-being. This isn't about distraction, it's about transformation. It's about realizing that the person you've been waiting for to make you feel whole has been with you all along. When you begin to shift your energy inward, you'll notice that the external world starts to reflect the changes happening within you. Relationships that once felt strained may either improve or fall away naturally. Opportunities you once overlooked may suddenly appear. This isn't magic, it's the result of aligning your actions and intentions with your self-worth. By investing in yourself, you create a ripple effect that impacts every area of your life. When you stop chasing, texting, or playing games, something powerful happens. Your silence becomes an undeniable force. Silence is not just the absence of words, it's the presence of a message. It speaks volumes about your self-respect, your boundaries, and your priorities. People often misunderstand silence as weakness or passivity, but in reality, it's one of the most assertive actions you can take. When you remove yourself from the noise, you give others and yourself space to see things more clearly. Silence doesn't beg for attention, nor does it explain itself. It simply exists, commanding respect without uttering a word. In our fast-paced, hyper-connected world, silence has become rare and therefore valuable. Everyone is busy filling the air with words, texts, and actions, trying to make their presence known. But silence sets you apart. When you stop engaging in the constant back and forth of chasing or explaining yourself, it forces people to notice. It's in this stillness that others begin to reflect on your worth. Why? Because silence removes the noise of desperation, leaving only the weight of what truly matters. Silence is also a boundary. It's a declaration that you won't participate in games or dynamics that diminish your self-respect. When someone expects you to chase after them, to text endlessly, or to compromise your standards to keep their attention, and you choose silence instead, you're making it clear that you won't be manipulated. This isn't about trying to make the other person feel bad or guilty, it's about standing firm in your truth. It's about showing that you value yourself enough not to beg for someone else's time or affection. The beauty of silence lies in its ability to create space not just for others to think, but for you to realign with your inner strength. When you choose silence, you're choosing to disengage from patterns of behavior that drain your energy and self-esteem. You're giving yourself permission to step back and see the bigger picture. Often, in the heat of the moment, we act out of emotion, trying to fix things or seek validation. But silence gives you the time and distance to process what's really happening. It allows you to make decisions from a place of clarity rather than desperation. Silence can be uncomfortable, especially if you've been conditioned to believe that you need to fight for someone's attention or prove your worth through constant communication. But this discomfort is where growth begins. When you resist the urge to fill the void with words or actions, you're teaching yourself a powerful lesson in restraint and patience. You're learning that your value doesn't depend on how much noise you make or how hard you try to convince someone to stay. Your value is inherent, and silence is a way of embodying that truth. When you stop texting or chasing, you also give others the opportunity to step up. If someone truly values you, they'll notice your silence. They'll feel the shift in energy and recognize that you're no longer willing to settle for one-sided effort. This is not about playing hard to get or manipulating someone into action. It's about creating a space where genuine connection can flourish. If the other person doesn't step up, then their lack of effort speaks volumes about their priorities. Silence reveals truths that words often obscure. Silence is also a mirror. When you stop speaking, you allow others to see themselves more clearly. They begin to notice their own behavior and how it impacts you. If they've taken you for granted or dismissed your feelings, your silence becomes a stark reminder of what they risk losing. It's not about punishment, it's about reflection. In this way, silence isn't just an act of self-respect, it's an invitation for others to reflect on their own actions and intentions. Another profound aspect of silence is its ability to protect your peace. When you stop engaging in unnecessary drama or futile conversations, you create a sanctuary for yourself. You're no longer entangled in the push and pull of trying to make someone see your worth. Instead, you're preserving your energy for the things and people that truly matter. Silence is a way of saying, I value my peace more than I value this argument or this game. It's a form of self-care that prioritizes your well-being over the need to be understood or validated by someone else. The power of silence extends beyond relationships. It's a tool for personal growth and self-discovery. In the quiet moments, you have the opportunity to tune into your inner voice, the part of you that knows your worth and your purpose. Silence allows you to hear what you truly want, unfiltered by the noise of external opinions or expectations. It's in this stillness that you reconnect with your authentic self, the version of you that doesn't need to chase or beg because they already know their value. When you embrace silence, you're also embracing the unknown. You're letting go of the need to control outcomes or force situations to unfold in a certain way. This requires a deep level of trust, not in others, but in yourself and the universe. Trust that what's meant for you will come to you, and what isn't meant for you will fall away. Silence is an act of surrender, not in the sense of giving up, but in the sense of releasing the need to fight for what's already aligned with you. When you focus on your purpose, something profound begins to happen. The distractions, doubts, and insecurities that once consumed you start to fade into the background. A purpose is more than a goal or an ambition. It's the core reason you wake up each day with a sense of determination. It is the anchor that keeps you steady when life feels uncertain and the fuel that drives you when challenges arise. Focusing on your purpose isn't about ignoring the emotional pain or challenges you may face. It's about channeling your energy into something far greater than the temporary emotions of the moment. When we let someone else's actions or inactions dictate our emotions, we are handing over our power. We're saying, my happiness depends on how this person treats me. But when you focus on your purpose, you reclaim that power. You redirect your energy from the external world to the internal one, to the things that light a fire within you and give your life meaning. This shift isn't easy, especially when emotions like rejection or disappointment cloud your thoughts. But it's a necessary step toward true freedom and fulfillment. Your purpose serves as a compass, guiding you toward the life you were meant to live. It keeps you grounded when relationships falter or when people fail to meet your expectations. Instead of seeking validation from others, you find it within yourself by staying aligned with your purpose. This alignment creates a sense of fulfillment that no relationship, text message, or external approval could ever provide. It's a feeling of wholeness, of knowing that you are enough as you are, regardless of who comes or goes from your life. Focusing on your purpose requires clarity, and clarity comes from introspection. It's about asking yourself the hard questions. What am I passionate about? What gives my life meaning? What legacy do I want to leave behind? The answers to these questions may not come overnight, but the act of seeking them is transformative. It shifts your focus from the trivial, such as why someone didn't text back, to the profound, how you can live a life that truly fulfills you. This shift in perspective not only elevates your mindset, but also elevates the quality of your life. When you are deeply connected to your purpose, you start to see relationships in a different light. Instead of seeing them as a source of validation or completion, you see them as a complement to the life you're already building. You stop chasing people who don't align with your values because you realize they don't fit into the vision you have for yourself. Your purpose becomes the standard by which you evaluate everything in your life, from the people you allow into your inner circle to the opportunities you pursue. This focus also brings an incredible sense of resilience. When you are living with purpose, setbacks and disappointments no longer feel like the end of the world. They become lessons, stepping stones on the path to your greater goals. If someone pulls away from you or fails to reciprocate your efforts, it stings, but it doesn't derail you. You understand that their presence or absence doesn't define your worth or your path. Your purpose becomes your foundation, and with that foundation, you can weather any storm. Moreover, living with purpose transforms the way others perceive you. There's something undeniably magnetic about a person who knows what they want and is actively working toward it. When you are focused on your purpose, you radiate confidence and self-assurance. People are drawn to your energy, not because you're trying to impress them, but because you're fully immersed in the life you're creating. This is the opposite of chasing, it's attracting. And the people you attract when you're living with purpose are often the ones who truly align with your values and vision. One of the greatest benefits of focusing on your purpose is the sense of fulfillment it brings. When you are working towards something meaningful, the emotional ups and downs of life don't weigh on you as heavily. You feel a sense of progress, of momentum that keeps you moving forward even in the face of challenges. This doesn't mean you won't experience pain or disappointment, but it does mean those feelings won't define you. Instead, they become part of the tapestry of your life, adding depth and color to the story you're creating. Focusing on your purpose also creates a ripple effect in your life. When you are aligned with what truly matters to you, every decision you make becomes more intentional. You start to prioritize your time and energy differently, dedicating them to the things and people that truly matter. You no longer feel the need to chase after relationships or situations that don't serve you because you're too busy building a life that does. This intentionality not only enhances your sense of fulfillment, but also brings a sense of peace, knowing that you are living in alignment with your values. Living with purpose isn't about ignoring your emotions or pretending you don't care when someone lets you down. It's about recognizing those feelings and then choosing to channel them into something constructive. Instead of letting rejection or disappointment define you, you use it as fuel to push forward, to grow, and to create. In this way, your purpose becomes both a shield and a sword, a shield that protects you from the negativity of others, and a sword that empowers you to carve out the life you deserve. Self-respect is the cornerstone of how you navigate relationships and life itself. It defines how you carry yourself, how you allow others to treat you, and what you're willing to tolerate. When you respect yourself, you establish a standard, a bar that no one can lower without your permission. It's not about arrogance or demanding perfection from others. It's about recognizing your own worth and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. Cultivating self-respect isn't just a step in overcoming negative feelings, it's the foundation for building a life where your happiness and peace are non-negotiable. At its core, self-respect is about valuing your own time, energy, and emotions. In the context of relationships, it means refusing to beg for someone's attention or chase after someone who doesn't prioritize you. When you engage in these behaviors, you send a silent message to yourself and to others that their validation is more important than your own sense of dignity. But when you hold on to your self-respect, you communicate something entirely different. You say, without words, I am worthy, and I don't need to lower myself to prove it. The act of holding on to your self-respect is not always easy. It requires restraint, especially in moments of vulnerability when emotions run high. When someone ignores you or pulls away, the instinct might be to reach out, to try to fix the situation, or to seek closure. But acting on these impulses often leads to more pain and diminishes your sense of self-worth. Instead, self-respect calls for a pause, a moment to remind yourself that you are not defined by someone else's actions. It's in these moments of stillness that you reclaim your power. Maintaining self-respect often means setting boundaries, not just with others, but with yourself. It's about recognizing when your thoughts or actions are pulling you into a cycle of negativity or self-doubt and choosing to step out of it. For example, if you find yourself obsessing over why someone hasn't texted back or replaying every interaction to find what went wrong, self-respect demands that you stop. It demands that you redirect your energy to something that uplifts you rather than something that diminishes you. One of the most profound ways self-respect manifests is in your ability to walk away when a situation no longer serves you. This doesn't mean you don't care or that you're giving up. It means you care enough about yourself to prioritize your well-being over the need to hold on to something that isn't working. Walking away takes courage, especially when emotions are involved, but it's one of the most powerful acts of self-respect you can demonstrate. It's a way of saying, I choose me. Self-respect is also about recognizing your inherent worth, independent of external validation. Too often, people tie their self-esteem to how others treat them, basing their sense of value on someone else's approval. But true self-respect comes from within. It's the unshakable belief that you are enough just as you are. This belief doesn't waver when someone disappoints you or when a relationship ends because it's not rooted in external circumstances. It's rooted in your own understanding of who you are and what you bring to the table. When you hold on to your self-respect, you create a standard for how others interact with you. People learn how to treat you based on how you treat yourself. If you allow disrespect or tolerate behaviors that make you feel less than, you're teaching others that it's acceptable. But when you respect yourself, you demand without words that others do the same. This doesn't mean you have to be confrontational or aggressive. Often your actions speak louder than anything you could say. Simply refusing to engage in behaviors or relationships that compromise your self-worth sends a powerful message. Self-respect also builds resilience. When you value yourself, you're better equipped to handle rejection, disappointment, and setbacks. You understand that these experiences, while painful, don't define your worth. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong or blaming yourself, you see these moments as opportunities for growth. You learn to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep moving forward with your head held high. This resilience is a direct result of knowing that your value isn't tied to someone else's actions or opinions. Another aspect of self-respect is the ability to forgive yourself. Often, people are harder on themselves than they are on anyone else. They replay their mistakes, criticize their choices, and hold on to guilt long after it's served its purpose. But self-respect means offering yourself the same compassion you would offer a friend. It means acknowledging your imperfections without letting them define you. When you respect yourself, you recognize that you are a work in progress, and that's okay. Finally, self-respect is a form of self-love. It's the daily practice of treating yourself with kindness, patience, and care. It's choosing to surround yourself with people who uplift you rather than tear you down. It's dedicating time to your own growth, whether that means pursuing your passions, taking care of your health, or simply allowing yourself to rest. When you respect yourself, you prioritize these things not out of obligation, but because you know you're worth it. Taking care of yourself is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's the foundation of everything else in your life. The one area that directly influences your emotional resilience, mental clarity, and physical strength. Too often, when we feel consumed by negative emotions or the actions of others, we neglect ourselves. We let our well-being take a back seat to overthinking, obsessing, or trying to fix something that's out of our control. But in reality, the best way to overcome those negative feelings is to turn inward and focus on your own health physically, emotionally, and mentally. Self-care begins with recognizing that you are responsible for your own well-being. No one else can do it for you. It's not about waiting for someone to treat you better or hoping circumstances will improve. It's about taking proactive steps to nurture yourself. This requires intentionality. You must commit to practices that prioritize your health, your peace, and your happiness. These practices may seem small or simple, but their impact is profound. They remind you that you are in control of how you feel, no matter what's happening around you. One of the most fundamental aspects of self-care is physical health. When you're in a state of emotional turmoil, it can be easy to neglect your body. You might skip meals, overindulge in comfort foods, or let exercise fall by the wayside. But your physical health and emotional well-being are deeply connected. Taking care of your body by eating nutritious food, staying hydrated, and maintaining a regular exercise routine can significantly improve your mood and energy levels. Exercise, in particular, is a powerful tool for managing stress and releasing pent-up emotions. It helps clear your mind and boosts endorphins, the body's natural feel-good chemicals, giving you a renewed sense of vitality and control. Rest is another critical component of self-care. When you're struggling with negative feelings, your mind may race, making it difficult to sleep. But sleep is essential for emotional healing and mental clarity. Without proper rest, your ability to think clearly and make sound decisions is compromised, and your emotions can feel overwhelming. Prioritizing sleep isn't just about quantity but quality, creating a peaceful bedtime routine, reducing screen time before bed, and cultivating an environment that promotes relaxation. Sleep allows your mind and body to reset, equipping you with the strength to face whatever challenges come your way. Emotional self-care involves recognizing and processing your feelings without judgment. When negative emotions arise, it's easy to suppress them or distract yourself with external stimuli. But true self-care means allowing yourself to feel without letting those feelings consume you. Journaling, for example, is a powerful way to process emotions. Writing down your thoughts can help you gain clarity and release pent-up frustration or sadness. Talking to a trusted friend, therapist, or mentor can also provide valuable perspective and support. Emotional self-care is about giving yourself permission to feel and heal without shame or guilt. Another aspect of taking care of yourself is setting aside time for the things that bring you joy. When was the last time you did something purely because it made you happy? Whether it's reading a book, painting, dancing, or spending time in nature, engaging in activities that light you up is a form of self-care. These moments of joy are not trivial, they're essential. They remind you of the beauty and possibilities in life, even when things feel difficult. Prioritizing joy is a way of saying to yourself, I deserve happiness, even in the midst of challenges. Taking care of yourself also means creating boundaries. It's about recognizing when something or someone is draining your energy and having the courage to step away. Boundaries are not about shutting people out or being unkind, they're about protecting your peace. This might mean limiting your exposure to negative influences, saying no to obligations that overwhelm you, or stepping back from relationships that no longer serve you. Boundaries are a form of self-respect and self-preservation, allowing you to focus on what truly matters. Mental self-care involves nurturing your mind and perspective. This can include reading books that inspire and uplift you, practicing mindfulness or meditation, or simply taking a few moments each day to breathe deeply and ground yourself. It's about being intentional with your thoughts and not allowing your mind to spiral into negativity. Gratitude practices, for example, are a simple yet powerful way to shift your mindset. By focusing on the things you're thankful for, you train your brain to see the positive, even in difficult times. This doesn't mean ignoring the challenges you face, but balancing them with a perspective that acknowledges the good in your life. One often overlooked aspect of self-care is the importance of community. Taking care of yourself doesn't mean isolating yourself. It means surrounding yourself with people who uplift and support you. Whether it's close friends, family, or a support group, having a network of positive influences can make a significant difference in how you navigate negative feelings. These connections remind you that you're not alone and that you have a support system to lean on when needed. Lastly, taking care of yourself means being kind to yourself. Too often, we are our own harshest critics, berating ourselves for mistakes or shortcomings. But self-care requires self-compassion. It's about treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. It's recognizing that you are human, that it's okay to have bad days, and that you are deserving of love and care, especially from yourself. Self-compassion is the foundation of all self-care practices because it allows you to approach them not as chores or obligations, but as acts of love for yourself. Letting go of the need for control is one of the most liberating steps you can take when dealing with negative feelings. Often, the source of frustration, sadness, or anxiety is rooted in a desire to control situations or outcomes that are beyond your reach. This need for control creates a mental battle where you expend your energy trying to force people to behave a certain way or circumstances to align with your expectations. Letting go doesn't mean giving up or becoming indifferent. It means surrendering to the reality that there are things you cannot change and focusing instead on what you can influence: your own reactions and mindset. The need for control often stems from fear of uncertainty, fear of loss, or fear of vulnerability. This fear pushes you to cling tightly to situations, hoping to steer them in a direction that feels safe or predictable. But the truth is, the tighter you hold on, the more resistance you encounter. Relationships are a prime example of this. When you feel someone slipping away, the instinct may be to chase after them, to convince them of your worth, or to manipulate the situation so they stay. However, this behavior often pushes people further away. Letting go is about recognizing that their actions are not within your control, and that true connection cannot be forced. Letting go requires a shift in mindset, one that embraces trust over fear. It's about trusting that what is meant for you will come to you, and that forcing something to happen is not the way to achieve fulfillment. This trust doesn't develop overnight, it's a practice. You have to remind yourself, often in the face of overwhelming emotions, that clinging to control only creates more tension and pain. Trust is an act of faith, a belief that even when things don't go as planned, you have the strength and resilience to handle whatever comes next. A significant part of letting go is releasing attachment to specific outcomes. This doesn't mean you shouldn't have goals or desires. It means not tying your happiness and self-worth to whether those goals are achieved in the exact way you envision. For example, you might hope for a certain person to reciprocate your feelings or for a situation to resolve in your favor. While it's natural to have hopes, placing all your emotional well-being on these outcomes creates a fragile foundation. By letting go of attachment, you free yourself from the emotional roller coaster of disappointment and allow room for better possibilities to unfold. One of the challenges of letting go is learning to sit with discomfort. When you release the need for control, you may initially feel a sense of uncertainty or even helplessness. This is because control gives the illusion of security, even if that security is false. Sitting with discomfort means acknowledging your emotions without trying to fix or suppress them. It's about allowing yourself to feel what you feel, knowing that emotions are temporary and will pass. This process can be uncomfortable, but it's also incredibly empowering. It teaches you that you can face your emotions without being consumed by them. Letting go also involves forgiving not just others, but yourself. When you hold on to grudges or replay mistakes, you keep yourself trapped in the past. Forgiveness is not about excusing bad behavior or pretending something didn't hurt you. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional weight of resentment. Similarly, forgiving yourself for decisions you regret or situations you mishandled is crucial. Holding on to guilt only deepens negative feelings. Letting go means acknowledging that you did the best you could with the knowledge and resources you had at the time, and committing to learning and growing from those experiences. One of the most practical ways to let go is through mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of staying present, focusing on the here and now rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. When you're caught up in negative feelings, your mind often spirals into what-if scenarios or replays old memories. Mindfulness brings you back to the present moment, where you have the power to choose how you respond. Practices like meditation, deep breathing, or simply taking a walk in nature can help ground you and create the mental space needed to release the need for control. Letting go also means reevaluating your expectations of yourself and others. Sometimes the desire for control stems from unrealistic expectations that people will always act a certain way, or that life will unfold without challenges. When these expectations aren't met, frustration and disappointment set in. By letting go, you accept that people are flawed, situations are unpredictable, and life is inherently uncertain. This acceptance doesn't mean settling for less than you deserve. It means approaching life with flexibility and openness rather than rigidity and resistance. The act of letting go creates space for peace, for clarity, and for new opportunities. When you're consumed by the need for control, your mental and emotional energy is tied up in struggle. Letting go releases that energy, allowing you to redirect it toward things that truly matter. It's like unclenching a fist that has been tightly gripping something for too long. The relief you feel when you finally let go is both physical and emotional, a sense of freedom that cannot be achieved by holding on. Finally, letting go is an ongoing process. It's not something you do once and then forget about. Life will continue to present challenges and situations that test your ability to release control. The key is to approach each situation with patience and self-compassion. Some days will be easier than others, and that's okay. Letting go is a journey, not a destination, and every step you take towards surrender brings you closer to a life of greater peace and resilience. Focusing on building your future is one of the most powerful ways to overcome negative feelings. When you feel weighed down by disappointment, rejection, or frustration, it's easy to become fixated on the past or the present struggle. This fixation, however, keeps you stuck in a cycle of negative emotions. The antidote is forward momentum, channeling your energy into creating a life you're proud of, a future that excites you. Building your future is not just about setting goals, it's about adopting a mindset of growth, resilience, and purpose. It's about understanding that your best days aren't behind you, they're ahead of you, waiting for you to claim them. The process of building your future begins with a clear vision. If you're consumed by negative feelings, it's likely because your focus has become narrow, centered on what's not working or what you've lost. Shifting your focus to the future requires asking yourself, what do I truly want? This question is both simple and profound. It requires honesty and courage, as it forces you to confront your deepest desires and dreams. It might involve reflecting on what kind of person you want to become, what experiences you want to have, or what legacy you want to leave behind. Crafting this vision gives you a sense of direction and purpose, pulling you out of the emotional quicksand of the present. Once you've established your vision, the next step is setting actionable goals. These goals act as stepping stones, breaking your vision into manageable, achievable pieces. It's important to set goals that align with your values and passions, as these will fuel your motivation. For example, If your vision involves financial independence, your goals might include learning new skills, pursuing career opportunities, or creating a budget to save money. If your vision centers around personal growth, your goals might involve building better habits, cultivating mindfulness, or pursuing education. These goals give you something tangible to work toward, shifting your focus from what you can't control to what you can create. Taking consistent action toward your goals is where the real transformation begins. Negative feelings thrive in stagnation and the absence of progress. Action, however small, disrupts this cycle. Each step you take, no matter how insignificant it may seem, reinforces the belief that you are capable of change. This doesn't mean every day will be easy or every effort will yield immediate results, but the act of trying itself is empowering. It reminds you that you are not defined by your current circumstances or emotions. You have the power to shape your future through your actions. One of the most rewarding aspects of building your future is discovering your strengths. Often, negative feelings can make you doubt yourself, questioning your abilities or worth. But as you take steps toward your goals, you begin to uncover resilience, creativity, and determination you may not have realized you had. Challenges that once seemed insurmountable become opportunities to grow and learn. This process of self-discovery builds confidence and a sense of self-reliance, proving to yourself that you are capable of overcoming obstacles and achieving greatness. Building your future also involves surrounding yourself with the right people. The company you keep has a profound impact on your mindset and progress. If you're constantly around negativity or people who doubt your abilities, it's harder to stay motivated and focused. Seek out individuals who inspire, encourage, and challenge you to grow. These might be mentors, friends, or like-minded individuals who share your vision and values. The right support system can provide guidance, accountability, and a reminder that you're not alone in your journey. Another crucial aspect of building your future is embracing the process rather than fixating solely on the outcome. When you're working toward a brighter future, it's easy to become impatient or frustrated if things don't happen as quickly as you'd like. However, growth takes time, and the journey itself is often more valuable than the destination. Each step teaches you something new about yourself, about the world, and about what truly matters. Embracing the process means celebrating small victories, learning from setbacks, and staying committed even when progress feels slow. As you build your future, it's also important to reflect on the lessons of the past. Letting go of negative feelings doesn't mean ignoring or forgetting what you've been through. It means using those experiences as fuel for your growth. Every challenge, heartbreak, or disappointment has something to teach you, whether it's about resilience, self-worth, or what you truly want from life. By reframing these experiences as lessons rather than failures, you turn pain into power, transforming what once held you back into the foundation for your success. Building your future requires discipline and focus. Negative feelings often tempt you to dwell on distractions or engage in behaviors that provide temporary relief but no lasting satisfaction. To truly create a better future, you must be intentional with your time and energy. This might mean cutting out habits or routines that no longer serve you, like mindless scrolling or procrastination, and replacing them with actions that align with your goals. It might mean waking up earlier to work on your passion project or spending evenings learning a new skill. Discipline is not about perfection, it's about consistently showing up for yourself, even when it's hard. Finally, building your future is an act of self-respect and self-love. It's a declaration that you deserve happiness, fulfillment, and success, and that you are willing to put in the work to achieve it. It's a reminder that your worth is not determined by anyone else's opinions or actions. It comes from within. As you focus on creating a life that reflects your values and aspirations, You begin to see yourself not as a victim of circumstances, but as the architect of your destiny. This shift in perspective is transformative, allowing you to move forward with confidence, clarity, and hope. Prioritizing inner peace over external validation is a transformative shift in mindset, one that empowers you to free yourself from the opinions and judgments of others. In a world that often celebrates external success, appearances, and approval, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeking validation from outside sources. You may find yourself yearning for acknowledgement, praise, or reassurance from people who may not fully understand or value your journey. This constant pursuit can leave you feeling drained, insecure, and disconnected from your true self. Choosing inner peace over external validation is a courageous act of reclaiming your power and focusing on what truly matters: your sense of self-worth and emotional well-being. Inner peace is cultivated from within. It is not something that can be granted by another person's approval or withheld by their criticism. It begins with a deep understanding that your value is inherent, not contingent on external factors. Too often, people tie their self-worth to achievements, relationships, or societal expectations. They believe that being loved, praised, or accepted by others will bring them fulfillment. However, these forms of validation are fleeting and unreliable. Someone's opinion of you can change in an instant, leaving you vulnerable to their whims and biases. Inner peace, on the other hand, is steady and enduring because it comes from your own sense of self-acceptance and alignment with your values. To prioritize inner peace, you must first learn to quiet the noise of external opinions. This noise can come from many sources: social media, friends, family, or even strangers. It often manifests as pressure to conform, to meet certain standards, or to prove yourself in some way. The key is recognizing that not all feedback or criticism is worth your attention. People's opinions are often shaped by their own experiences, insecurities, and biases, and they may project these onto you without truly understanding your perspective. By letting go of the need to please everyone or prove yourself to others, you create space for your own voice to emerge. Focusing on inner peace also requires developing a strong sense of self-awareness. This means understanding your own needs, values, and boundaries. When you are clear about what truly matters to you, it becomes easier to let go of external validation. For example, if you know that your core value is honesty, you won't feel the need to compromise your truth to win someone's approval. Similarly, if you understand that your well-being depends on setting boundaries, you'll prioritize protecting your energy over trying to meet everyone else's expectations. Self-awareness acts as a compass, guiding you toward choices that align with your inner peace rather than external demands. Another important aspect of prioritizing inner peace is practicing self-compassion. Negative feelings often arise when you judge yourself harshly for not meeting certain standards or when you compare yourself to others. This self-criticism can be exacerbated by seeking validation as you become hyper-aware of how others perceive you. Self-compassion is the antidote. It involves treating yourself with kindness, understanding, and forgiveness, especially in moments of failure or struggle. When you practice self-compassion, you build resilience against the need for external validation because you learn to give yourself the love and encouragement you seek from others. Detaching from external validation also means embracing imperfection. Society often glorifies perfection, creating unrealistic expectations for how you should look, act, or achieve. This pressure can lead to constant striving and self-doubt as you feel you'll never measure up. Inner peace, however, comes from accepting yourself as you are, flaws and all. It's about understanding that perfection is an illusion and that your worth is not determined by how well you meet arbitrary standards. When you embrace imperfection, you release the burden of trying to be everything to everyone and you allow yourself to be authentic and free. Mindfulness is another powerful tool for cultivating inner peace. Mindfulness involves being fully present in the moment without judgment or distraction. When you're caught up in seeking validation, your thoughts often revolve around the past or future, replaying conversations, anticipating criticism, or wondering how others perceive you. Mindfulness brings you back to the present, where you can focus on your own feelings and experiences rather than external pressures. Practices like meditation, deep breathing, or simply observing your surroundings can help you reconnect with yourself and find calm amidst chaos. To prioritize inner peace, you must also learn to let go of the need for control. Seeking external validation is often rooted in a desire to control how others see you. You may try to manage their opinions through your actions, words, or decisions, hoping to secure their approval. However, this need for control is both exhausting and futile, as you cannot dictate how others think or feel. Letting go of this need allows you to focus on what you can control: your own thoughts, choices, and reactions. This shift in focus helps you find peace within yourself, regardless of external circumstances. Another key element is finding joy in the process rather than the outcome. When you prioritize external validation, your happiness often depends on reaching specific milestones or receiving specific responses from others. Inner peace, however, comes from finding fulfillment in the journey itself. It's about appreciating the effort you put into your work, the growth you experience along the way, and the moments of connection you share with others. By shifting your focus from outcomes to experiences, you cultivate a sense of gratitude and contentment that is independent of external recognition. Finally, prioritizing inner peace involves creating a life that reflects your true self. This means pursuing passions, relationships, and activities that align with your values and bring you genuine joy. It means saying no to things that drain you or compromise your integrity, even if they come with the promise of approval. When you live authentically, you no longer feel the need to seek validation because you are already aligned with your own truth. This authenticity is the foundation of inner peace, allowing you to navigate life with confidence, clarity, and a deep sense of fulfillment.